Boxing truth here. Mikey Garcia is going to make easy work of Robert Easter Jr. Now, this is the matchup that is the most logical fight of happening. I didn't pay any attention to those Miguel Cotto reports. I always considered it a fake call out. It was a bunch of bullshit to me. I just don't see that fight having any chance of happening. One guy's with Showtime, being a showcase on Showtime, and he's affiliated with Al Heyman and Mikey Garcia. Miguel Cotto is a guy who is affiliated with HBO, and he's being promoted by Golden Boy. And there are more options on the table for Cotto compared to Mikey Garcia right now. And Mikey Garcia, the most logical option is Robert Easter Jr. Unification fight at lightweight after a brief stint at the 40-pound division in order to get a name fighter on his resume. Very overrated fighter in Adrian Broner. But Mikey did the job, dominated, practically won almost every round, won 11 of the 12 rounds from what I saw. And now he's looking to go back to the lightweight division, it seems. Robert Easter Jr. is a very strong possibility. It makes sense. They're on the same side, the same street, affiliated with the same advisor. It makes all the sense for this fight to happen. And it's not a bad fight. I think Mikey Garcia is going to knock Robert Easter the fuck out, but it'd be interesting to see how long this fight lasts. Be interesting to see how, if Easter could impose some of his advantages. He's a much taller guy, much bigger guy. At least he's taller. Not a bad puncher, but Easter's just, he's not that good. To me, he's an imposter, one of the many imposters in boxing, parading around as champions. It was a close fight between him and Shavakov, but I thought Shavakov clearly won the fight in a competitive battle. Easter got home cooking as expected and was able to escape with a very narrow victory. A second fight that he's escaped. As many people believe he should have 2 losses on his resume. But Easter was able to escape with the wins. He's one of the many imposters in boxing, parading around as champions. There's a few of them out there. You gotta have good boxing eyes though to spot these guys out. Unfortunately, not many boxing fans don't. Just still influenced by punch stats, commentating. Gotta be able to think for yourself. That's my only advice to you. So, Robert Easter, he's from my eyes, an imposter. James DeGale is another imposter as champion. Who else? Ricky Burns for a time was an imposter till Ndongo whooped his ass. Let's see, who else is an imposter in boxing? There's a couple of more. Carl Frampton for a time was as well, until Losana Cruz proved me right and whooped his ass in a rematch. Still only got a split decision out of it. Ward's an imposter until he retired. Let's see who else. Who else is an imposter in boxing? DeGale is a very strong one. He still has a belt. There's a couple of guys that had belts and then lost, pretty much proving that they weren't real champions. There's a few others. I just can't get them off the top of my head right now. But oh, Terry Flanagan's an imposter. Definitely. Oh, Joseph Parker is another imposter. Really big gift decision that was. But back to this fight. Mikey Garcia, this is a great fight for him. If this is the fight on the table, he should definitely take it. There's really no other fight out there as far as I could see. If he's going to campaign at 140 pounds, who could he fight? Crawford is the guy currently with 3 of the straps. Most likely he hasn't yet to vacate, I believe. And there's plans for him to move up, so what's the point of fighting at 140 for him when a guy at 35 that he could fight with a little name recognition, and he brings some hardware, and it's a very winnable fight for him. Why stay at 140 when there's really no big fights? Yeah, sure, there's guys on his side like Barthélemy, but he's a awkward tall guy who can box, a little power as well. Why would he want to fight him? Sergey Lipnitz is fighting for the IBF strap. Broner he already beat, so there's not really too many guys on his side when it comes to 140 pounds. Not many lucrative big fights. So 35 is the way to go. Get a unification fight, add another strap to his collection. After he relieves of Robert Easter of his IBF strap, prove to the boxing world that he's an imposter for losing to Shavikov. Close fight though. I'm not going to be too hard on Robert Easter Jr. But this is his chance if he gets this fight. If he's truly real, if he's truly elite, it's truly a worthy champion. And for Mikey Garcia, it's a chance to make and marinate bigger fights down the road. A fight with George Linares is one of the fights to make. I'm not sure how makeable the fight is. I would like to see that fight. Everybody's counting Linares out. I think he's a very live dog in that fight because of his style, because of his speed, and he does have punching power. It's a great fight. I would love to see that fight, especially for all the marbles. I think the plan will be, even though Linares is calling Mikey Garcia out, and Mikey is also spouting out that he wants to fight with Linares, there hasn't really been much movement on trying to put that fight together. So it looks like Garcia is going to move back to 135, Robert Easter, and Jorge Linares is most likely going to unify with Terry Flanagan, one of the imposters in boxing. And those two unification fights could set up a undisputed lightweight showdown for and also the lineal title at lightweight between Mikey Garcia and Jorge Linares will be a really big fight on the West Coast. A really big fight on HBO or whatever network they prefer. The fight needs to happen. I mean, I would love to see both of these guys define each other's career with a fight against each other. The winner of that fight will be top pound for pound, will be considered a future Hall of Famer maybe. There's a lot of accolades to go for a potential undisputed showdown between Mikey Garcia and Jorge Linares. So hopefully that's the plan. Hopefully that's Garcia's next fight. I think that's the most logical, logical fight that I see happening, that it looks on the course of happening. The Cotto fight, I believe, is complete nonsense. There's no other fights for him at 140, no really big marquee names that he would like to fight, and this is the best option for him on the table. So let's see how Mikey Garcia's career pans out at the end of the year. Hopefully he fights at the end of this year against Robert Easter, and to set up a showdown with George Linares. Linares can take care of his business. Whoever he fights next, hopefully it's Flanagan. But Mikey's gonna easy work on Robert Easter if and when they fight. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.